Good evening and welcome to FTV Sport, the first week in February when the runners and riders are going to get shaped up. You know, it's the what do they call it? The business end of the season. Last day of the transfer window, probably the most boring transfer window in my whole life, but I guess there's no money in the game. But we have even more fantastic games to look forward to over the next few days. Could be again. It's almost every time we're saying this could decide the season. This could decide the season. FTV Sport, please follow us on Instagram. Big Facebook following, and this will appear on YouTube. So if you enjoy it, please share it with your mates. We're really keen. These are football fans talking about football, real grassroots, real passion. Please get us more followers. Share the faith. Okay. And tonight's show, ladies first. That's not you, Gerard. So just tell us a little bit about you as a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, well, I've been lucky enough to go since I was quite young, actually. I was lucky enough to have my dad as a Liverpool fan. So he used to take me to probably my first game. I was 5. I've been going ever since, really. So I'm
fantastic.
I'm quite lucky, especially in this day and age. And I feel really fortunate that I was able to be at, at the Klopp's first game and every game that, at home at Anfield. So I feel like I've been on the journey with them, and the boys, and it's been wonderful.
Fabulous. What a girl. And the accent's spot on. So, Gerard, with that North London accent, tell us a little bit about you in the North London twang, of course, being an authentic Spurs fan and all that.
Well, I thought that the last week has been disappointing. My Sunday night was ruined a little bit last night. But as you can see, we're keeping the faith. And, when we win the Carabao Cup, we'll be starting our journey like Pato and Klopp and the Liverpool boys and girls,
Starting the journey, yeah, right. It'd be more like towing a caravan cup. But there you go. Canis the Gooner, so the opposition camp to Gerard, give us that North London accent and tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, yeah, for me, well, a Gooner for life, really. It's obviously when I was introduced by my big brother, so he was like in a family in a sense that, I had to be an Arsenal fan. Otherwise I wasn't allowed in the house. So, but yeah, had those glory years back in the early 2000s, etc. Greatest teams, seeing those great players play. Now going through a little bit of a transitional period, they may say. But hey, look, I'm calm. We'll turn it around. I'm sure Arteta will come good. I'm liking the look of our defence at the moment. Just got little tweaks going forward, but that's happening. Saka, the last couple of seasons been absolutely brilliant to have. One of your own coming through like that, and then you've got Smith Rowe coming through now. If we have some more, Martinelli. I mean, once I think he's a little bit at the moment just because of the long injury layoff he had. But once he has that mental side of his game correct, I think he's going to be huge. Things are starting to click.
Who'd have thought probably the best player in North London would be Scottish? I mean, that's a real turn up for the books.
Hey, you know what? He's an absolute throwback player, to yesteryear, when you go back to your Adams and your Keowns and those kind of players, roll your sleeve up, short sleeves in the winter months, no messing about. So, long may it continue. He's young, so he could be our left back for a good few years and possible captain material. So I'm looking forward to it.
The best Scotsman since Champagne Charlie Nicholas.
Hey.
Enough living in the past with Canis and Pato. Let's move on. It's just like United. It's living in the past. Right, okay. Canis, get on his, get doing some press ups because you're on second game that we'll talk about. But first game out. Sheffield United. could I ever have been saying this? But they're actually playing quite well. You know, they got a positive result against United. They pushed City hard. First game out. And I don't mind to the world. I'm biased against Sam Allardyce. I don't like him. He plays boring football. I love the Baggies. And I'm disappointed they got rid of Billick. So I'm biased. I don't care. But Sheffield United really improving against a fairly desperate West Brom. If you're a fan from either city, that's a pretty damned crucial game. Let's go ladies first. Pato, tell us, what do you think? Sheffield United, West Brom. It's not going to be exactly like Barcelona, Real Madrid, is it? You there? Pato, can you hear us? Yeah, right, over to Gerard then instead. Gerard, you tell us about it.
Well, I agree about Sheffield United and, unlucky against City. And with West Brom signing yet another Arsenal player to leave today. I think they've got Maitland-Niles on loan, England international. They got a point at the weekend, and Big Sam, not looking happy, sat back in his chair. But I would say that they're going to get another draw, and I really hope that Sheffield United get a point that they deserve. And I'm going 1-1.
Ooh. We didn't do so well the other night, Joe, so let's hope we're getting better on this.
I know.
Canas, tell us.
Oh, do you know what? I have this, I think, for West Brom, to be honest. They made Sam Allardyce, I think he's going to start getting them to click with a couple of new signings, what I think they have as well. And the problems, I think, with Sheffield United at the moment, they've got a few players out, like Lise Musset, McBurney. So, you've got to wonder where the goals are going to come from, really, with Sheffield United. I'm with West Brom on this one, to be fair. I reckon 2-1 West Brom.
God, so Gerard says a draw. You say a win to West Brom. I think it's going to be a draw, but I'd like Sheffield United to win, mainly because I don't want West Brom to win. Anyway, moving on.
He's never been relegated. He's never been relegated. I think he will start today. He'll turn it. Tomorrow he'll start opportunity now,
kind of second game of the day. Game. So that's Wolves, who are desperate down at the moment, against a resurgent Arsenal. Dare I say it? Thoughts?
Now that's put the absolute hex on it now. So any kind of when any team that's in a bad form and we're playing them, we're always going to let them come out of that little slump. So now I think at the moment the problem we have at the moment is that we've got two of our big players out, and we're talking Tierney and Saka at the minute. They're probably going to be out. The thing going forward with Tierney for Arsenal, he's such a big plus, and but to be fair, Cedric's coming in, he's done great. Aubameyang possibly available, so that's going to be a massive plus going forward. So I watched Wolves at the weekend. I can't see where they can hurt us. It's all about Arsenal scoring first. I would say 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 to the Arsenal. 2-0. Right, okay. Gerard, what do you think?
Well, I saw the Wolves players, and I couldn't quite make out their shirts, and then I realised it was parachutes on their backs because they're in free fall. My little man Neto disappointed at the weekend, and I think what they've got going for them is Sheffield United, West Brom, and everybody below them. So because they are really in free fall, and as much as it pains me again, if Aubameyang's back, even without Saka, I thought Arsenal played well, and I'm going Wolves 0 again versus Arsenal 1.
Well, I'm going to make a hat trick because I think Arsenal are going to win too. So we'll watch this. We'll all look like complete idiots if Wolves get a draw.
Yeah.
Right, okay, here we go. Man United against Southampton. Southampton, they were so unlucky. If ever there was a handball, it was that handball against Villa early on. And the player should have been sent off. It would have changed the whole lot. And then right at the end when, what's his name? Our man of Ings, Danny Ings, his arm was stuck out, so he was offside by an arm. I thought they were so unlucky. So can the unlucky Baywatch David Hasselhoff Southampton get anything at United? Sheffield United did. Come on, actually, Gerard, you go first on this. Will United get a win? Can they click back into gear?
Well, I like Danny Ings. I like Southampton. I love the passion for the manager. But unfortunately, I'm not sure passion is going to get you anywhere. And this will be United's chance to bounce back after them struggling again and looking really flat. And who's he going to play up front? And is Cavani going to run around and everyone talks about how great he is, but he very rarely touches the ball or scores any goals. This time I think he just might. And, I think this one United have got it. And I'm going to go 2-1 to United.
Canas?
I'm with you on that one, Gerald. I think United, they've got no fresh injury concerns either. So I think Southampton might have a couple of players out. So I think they're struggling at the minute, Southampton, to be fair. And I think for United, they need to get back on, start getting their 3 points again. And I think for them, it's going to be really, really important. They're going to be on it, to be fair. So I would say a 2-0 United, to be honest.
United played Saturday, didn't they? Did United play Saturday?
Yeah, they played off.
Southampton played really late Sunday evening. And then they've got to get all the way up the motorway to Manchester to play Tuesday night. That's quite a big ask, that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To play Sunday night right till the end, then be back up the motorway to Manchester for Tuesday night. That's a big ask. I know professional footballers have played a lot of money, but they're only they're only flesh and blood at the end of the day. That's a big turnaround for quite a shallow squad like Southampton, where they can't really rotate players, etc.
Yeah. I think what's key is also they've got two there, so they're holding players out. Romeo and Diallo. He's done actually really well, deputising for Romeo. So they got problems there.
You guys may be right. Maybe United will win, but I haven't got it deep inside.
You just don't want it to happen.
Moving on. Let's just say moving on. Now let's explain the Crystal Palace one again to anyone watching. I was a born and bred City fan, born in Wythenshawe in Manchester, supporting City as a kid, but I moved to London 15 years ago and desperate to watch football, I went with a load of mates to watch Palace, and it's kind of like watching City in the old days for the kickbacks. It's a wonderful atmosphere. You can't help but love it. It's like being married to a girl for years and years and years and having another lady on the side. You kind of love it as well. And that's my feeling for Palace. When the two play, I do have to go with the wife, But Palace I have such a love for, soft spot for. And they came back against Wolves, which was nice to see. They got a win, which was good. And it was a bloody good goal by Eze. Away at Newcastle, I never saw, and neither did you, Gerald, we never thought Newcastle would beat Everton. At Everton, I promise you, I thought that was nailed on. Now, I don't. My brother saw the game. I didn't. He lives over in Newcastle. He was watching on the time, and he said Newcastle were good. He said maybe the new coach they brought in has regenerated them. I know, but he said it wasn't a lucky win. He said they meant business. So Newcastle Palace. I'm going to throw it to Gerard first, as you've seen a couple of games, because we support the Palace. The Palace. That's the way we like it.
My man Eze, who I read today, is being now seen as a future squad member after a couple of great goals. And we actually talked about Eze last week, and we said how that we rated him, and then there he is. He scores a great goal. Being talked about the England squad. I watched the second half of the Newcastle game. Good breakaway goal, etc., good. And they've also signed an Arsenal. Willock, I think today has gone to Newcastle. Feel a little bit for Steve Bruce, and the pressure he's under and what's going on at the club. So they get a win. Will they get another win? Palace get another win? No. I'm going 1-1, a draw. 1-1.
Canis?
You know what? I like Newcastle on at the weekend. Wilson. I thought he was brilliant.
Wilson,
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, he looked so sharp, so sharp. And do you know what? I would have him at Arsenal. To be fair, he was good, and he's a great finisher. For them to also to have Willock as well, I think it's good bit of business for both clubs and the player. And I'm going Newcastle on this one. To be fair, at home, they got Saint Maximin back as well. He came on. He looked sharp as well. I like Newcastle when they played Everton.
We all think
Palace will score. Palace will score with Eze and Zaha playing. So I'd say 2-1 Newcastle.
Poor old Palace. Poor Palace. Yeah, again, I'm into this geography bit. I think, again, after games at the weekend, it's not a deep squad. You've got to travel all the way to Newcastle for a Tuesday night. Again, that's a big ask with not a big squad. Palace are so weak at centre-back. God, you never know who's going to be playing at centre-back game after game, who's going to be injured next, etc. So, if Newcastle play Callum Wilson, maybe imagine Andy Carroll as well, they're going to rattle those old bones of Cahill and Kelly or whatever there at the back. So, again, it's like the United one. I just don't want to say it, but I think you're right, lads. I think Palace have got their hands full tomorrow night. I think you're right. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Wednesday. Oh, hang on. Here we go. First game out Wednesday night. And it's 6 o'clock kickoff. Now, history says that Man City always have a really great time against Burnley. Wasn't it? Haven't they won something like 4 or 5 games, 5 on the top? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
However, Sean Dyche, he's a cage fighter. Sean Dyche. And at the moment, he's coming out all fists blazing. He's fought, the team have fought their way out of trouble, just like Sean Dyche always does. I do not think this will be an easy game for Man City whatsoever. I think they're going to have to be on the metal like Sheffield United. My personal views, I think they'll do it, but it won't be by much. I think Burnley will run them tight. It'll be an odd goal win for City, a scrappy odd goal win. And actually, when I look at their February, they need to put those points between themselves and the rest, because they got Liverpool, they got United, they've got West Ham, I think they've got Arsenal as well, or whatever in February. They've got a whole series of about 6 very tough games where they'll probably drop. They'll probably lose a couple. So they really do need a win at Burnley to give them that buffer, because February and early March is going to be super difficult for them. And Borussia Mönchengladbach somewhere in there. It's a great name, isn't it? I love. Just got to keep saying Borussia Mönchengladbach. It's great. Imagine we called it like Arsenal Mönchengladbach instead. It's just so much better than Arsenal, Man City, or Spurs. Actually, not quite good. Borussia Mönchengladbach. Okay. Other views. Cameras, give me your views. Burnley, Man City.
I can't see anything but a City win. City are on a ridiculous form right now. They're on a ridiculous run. Burnley at the weekend got their nose blooded by Chelsea, and I think I can't see anything else. But it won't be easy. 2-0 City.
2-0. Keep talking, Jared. I'm going to check the weather as we go. Wednesday night in Burnley.
Well, let's hope that the Man City journey to Burnley is as tough as those Southerners going north, like Palace and everybody else. And City need a win, and I agree they need a win, because I'll become a Red Scouser on Sunday when they play Liverpool in a potential title decider. I would go as far as saying. But Canas, I think you've got it right. 2-0 to City, and let's hope it's no more. And they haven't signed. They signed some young wonder kid or somebody from Rochdale or something.
But interestingly, Gerard, I can't pronounce his name. He was actually originally at Palace as a youth international. I think there was some controversy a few years ago where a ball boy ran onto the pitch and re-putted the ball ready for the goalkeeper or whatever. and it was played on Match of the Day and all the TV, and it was him when he was about 13 or 14. And so he was the guy who went from Palace to Rochdale, now back to City. So apparently he's a bit of a character. But let's see. By the way, just for the record, it's going to be 4 degrees with a 60% chance of rain at Turf Moor. So there you go.
Summer in Burnley, isn't it? 4 degrees.
Summer in Burnley. Sean Dyche will be there. In his shorts.
It is best and shorts. Yeah.
I can't imagine that Gabriel Jesus won't be wearing gloves anyway. Put it that way.
City have got goals from everywhere. That's the thing. They got goals from everywhere.
Let's see. Let's hope so. Sean Dyche, cage fighter there. Okay, we have Fulham against Leicester as the second game.
What was your prediction? Burnley?
I said City will win by the odd goal.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I think it'll be nip and tuck like Sheffield United. Fulham, Leicester. Fulham got a really well-earned draw, playing beautiful football. Leicester, I think, still without Jamie Vardy, seem to have hit the buffers weirdly. You know, everyone talks about Palace being a bit of a one-man team with Zaha. Well, Jamie Vardy, Leicester. I mean, they're a fabulous team, but can they get the show back on the road? Fulham against Leicester. Go on, Gerard. What do you think, Fulham, Leicester?
Well, they won't have to play against Bamford. They won't have to play against that pressing Leeds lot who just blew them away, I think. Just really blew them away. And Fulham, I think, as much as we like Mr. Scotty Parker, he's always so well dressed and his hair looks great and all of this stuff. He
nice football.
He
tries to play good football.
He tries, but unfortunately, you know, Lookman, all the boys they've got. I think when you watch Fulham, they've just got too many similar players. There's just something not quite clicking. I don't know. I think Leicester will bounce back. I think they will. And Fofana, what a future that boy's got, even without Vardy, if he's not ready this week. I'm going to say Leicester to bounce back. Leicester 2, Fulham 1.
They've got a couple more injuries, and Diddy's out at Leicester as well, and he's a real good player. Yeah,
he's a big
Go on, Canis.
Do you know what? I've got this as a draw. I'm going to go Desmond Tutu. I think. Fulham are not looking bad. Okay, they've had a couple of FA Cup. I don't think they were too bothered really about the FA Cup. Other than that, they had 2 really hard games against Chelsea and United. But Brighton and West Brom, they've got 2 draws there. Leicester are not doing great, as you said. They haven't got Vardy. And Fulham at home, I fancy them to get something out of this. As I said, a 2-2.
I'm with you. I think it could be a Desmond as well. I like that. What I would say is, if anybody's watching, I know nothing. I was the one who said Leeds were the perfect team for Leicester to play. Perfect team, I said. Leicester will beat Leeds, no problem. They'll contain them. They'll hit them on the break, and Leeds will get battered by Leicester. I know nothing. So, but I think Fulham, Leicester, 1-1, 2-2, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Meanwhile, back at the Leeds, back at those unpredictable Leeds, I'm just going to shut up. I know nothing. I thought Everton would absolutely stuff Newcastle, and I thought Leicester would stuff Leeds. And what do I know? Leeds against Everton. I don't know why I'm asking Joe, because he said the same as me with Everton. So actually, as punishment, I'm going to go back to Camis. He's clearly a wise man there.
Do you know what? I've the only problem is that you just don't know what you're going to get with Leeds. They really are hit and miss. That's the thing. However, Everton got a problem, and I saw it at the weekend against Newcastle. They've got a couple of players who don't like it when it's cold, particularly Hammers. Oh God, he don't like it. So, and they've got to go a little bit north to Leeds. So I'm gonna have to sit on the fence for this one. Actually, I'll go 1-1. You just don't know what you're gonna get with Leeds. However, if Everton are not on it 100%, I can see Leeds winning this one. But I'm gonna go for a draw at the minute. Yeah.
Okay, Gerard.
Well, now that Bamford's suggesting he's going to get in the England squad for the Euros and all of this sort of stuff, and he was unfortunate in his early career after a couple of good games, That's worrying. But they were good. Leeds were good. They were on fire, and I think they'll do it again. I think a blip for Everton. I sort of agree with James, although when he's good, he's amazing. He's really good. And but I think this 2-2 Desmond thing's catching, so I'm going to go with a Desmond 2-2. 2-2, like it. Actually,
fellas, just ask the question. So England seems to be overrun with talent now up front. So if we thought about Ollie Watkins, who hasn't played for England, Eze from Palace, and Wilson from Newcastle, and Bamford, where would Bamford figure?
Third. 1, 2, 3. 3, third. Out of those 4, third.
If there was a last place for a striker in the Euros of those 4,
Wilson.
I
Wilson, then Watkins, then Bamford, then Eze.
Cass?
I put Wilson at the top, to be honest.
Really?
I really liked him at the weekend. I thought he was he took his role well, but Bamford for me, he just misses too many opportunities, and that's my opinion. That's what I think. But yeah, I'll put Wilson at the top, to be fair. Bamford at the bottom.
Ollie Watkins, I think he is a god of a player. Love him. I watch him, and the guy is everywhere. He's trying everything. He makes himself available all the time. No. If Harry Kane couldn't play, Ollie Watkins, I think he's such a good foil. He is a little bit of a poor man's Harry Kane, but he's a good lad. He's a good lad.
Good player.
Okay, moving on. Sorry, we're whittering on. So we're going to say a bit of a draw fest at Leeds Everton. I'm going to go the other way. I think Everton could get a bit of a hiding. Leeds could go wild. I just think you're right. I don't think some of those Everton players fancy it on a cold Wednesday night. I think the Leeds guys at home, they may. Now they've got wind in their sails, and the win against Leicester. Yeah, I'm going to go for Leeds going a bit wild there. Okay, I have to say, Villa West Ham. I love watching Villa. Villa are great to watch. When City first won the league, whatever, and everyone said, it's everyone's second favourite team, etc., etc. I wonder if a survey now of all the other clubs that Villa might come as everybody's second favourite team. Just a thought, particularly after how they finished last season, because they play with wonderful flair. I still think they were bloody lucky not to have Cash sent off early against Southampton. They were so lucky. That was a nailed on. It was Mike Dean, what a bonehead. Mike Dean. It was the Mike Dean show again. Okay, yeah, he's a guy, but the guy's arm, Cash's arm went to the ball. It was heading for the goal. It's a joke. Mike Dean, joker man. Anyway, sorry. It's my rant of the evening. I'm going to make Mike Dean rant. He just wants to take over. I wonder where Mike. God, and let's hope he's not refereeing City. I bet now.
Let's hope he's a Burnley fan.
If he turns up to ref City tomorrow night, oh no, I'm in big trouble. Right, okay. The wonderful Aston Villa against an incredibly powerful West Ham. This is actually, if you just call this last season, you just said, relegation battle. Yeah. Well, what a difference a season makes. Go on, guys. Give us your thoughts. Villa, West Ham, 2 bloody good teams.
I've got West Ham for this, to be honest. Actually, even yesterday against Liverpool, it took 3 tremendous goals for them to beat West Ham. All 3 goals were brilliant. The only goal you could say against West Ham, which maybe a bit slack, was, if you're being highly critical, was the first one for Salah. Salah's first goal, where you don't let him on his left foot. You know what he's going to do. But the other 2 goals are just superb. And if you're losing against Liverpool, where they've actually scored 3 brilliant goals, all you can do is just tip your hat. Other than that, they've been winning, West Ham. Villa, a bit of a mixed bag. Moyes has got West Ham solid. I'm going to go West Ham for this, actually. Villa will score. But if Antonio's fit and able to play, I'm going to go 3-1 West Ham.
Love Antonio. I'll tell you what, if you're a centre-back, you don't want to face Mikel Antonio, do you?
No.
Oh,
No.
he's almost, if you're going to talk about, he's a poor man's Drogba. You know,
Yeah,
he's
he's horrible.
He's a horrible bully of a forward who never gives up, super determined. Yeah, he's a poor man's Drogba, isn't he?
Yeah.
On that basis. Go on, Gerard. What do you think?
He's good. He's a bit delicate. He's those weak. Those legs are so thick. They're weak because if he runs too much, he has to have a couple of weeks off. And he seems to be pulling his shorts up. I don't know if anybody's noticed that.
What's that?
Mikel Antonio.
Yeah, what was that about? He's like, we know you've got
idea.
big legs, you know. So, yeah, Grealish, Football Writers, Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year. It's coming, outstanding on every stat of the season, including most fouls or most he's fouled the most or whatever. But incredible. And
as long as he's the Euros Golden Boot, I don't care what other awards he wins.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Just a quick one. Would you have a Grealish in both your teams?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in my England.
And he would start.
Yes.
Currently at a different level, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I agree. Absolutely.
Because win, lose or draw, he's week in, week out. Incredible.
The idea of a fit Grealish playing with Harry Kane, feeding Harry Kane, I mean, that's frightening, isn't it?
Yeah. Come on, Harry. Mm-hmm.
Frightening. Harry will have his feet up. He'll be knackered for the Euros.
So I think West Ham,
the Ollie Watkins show.
I think West Ham got shown up a little bit yesterday. 3 great goals, but they put them together. And, you know, I think it was a little bit men versus boys. And, you know, I think Antonio and Declan Rice is a good player. Didn't see much of him against Liverpool, against the top team, you know. And
in the papers, they only gave Souček like 5. They said he had his poorest game. And yet,
they had him sort of playing like a sweeper, like behind the midfield. It was a weird position for him to play in.
Yeah.
So, you know, Villa, good. Watkins, I love. Matty Cash, he's now styling himself against like Grealish, same hair, same everything. You know,
maybe I'm getting too old to have a Grealish. Yeah.
Or your calves aren't big enough. Villa 2, West Ham's bubble has burst 1.
I think that's a good shout. I'm going Team Gerrard on that one. Right. 2 massive games. The last one on Wednesday and then the first one on Thursday. So before we get to Tottenham, Chelsea, give us time. Let's speed it up. Liverpool seem to have turned a corner. Maybe, I haven't checked the last day of the transfer window. It looks like they bought 2 centre-backs today. A really, you know, talented guy, Turkish guy from 20-year-old Schalke. He's got a really good reputation. Yeah. And then a guy from Preston that no one's ever heard of. But I tell you what I was thinking, Gerard, if the lad from Preston for a couple of £1 million or less, 25 years old, if he turns out to be good, why weren't Palace after him?
You couldn't afford the £2 million.
Yeah, it's about Palace's budget, and they're desperately a younger centre back. You know,
he was on his way to Glasgow, wasn't he, to go to Celtic? Apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, Liverpool. Again, I always think that Fulham and Brighton are similar kind of teams. Potter and Scotty Parker want to play football, young English managers. I love him having a go at Brighton, but boy, that squad's really thin. You know, they've got holes in both Southampton and Fulham and Brighton with injuries, just as I thought it might be second half of the season. Have they got a prayer at Liverpool, or are they going to get a hiding? Gerard?
No, I think they've won their Champions League final, beating that great Spurs team last night, and you know, and that's without their best player Lamptey. Ben White was again outstanding for them last night. He really was, and that Trossard guy is not a bad player. You know, he's really good. He's skilled. He's skilled. Belgium squad. He's playing with De Bruyne and all that in Belgium. So. I think the best thing about this Kabak guy coming from Schalke to Liverpool is that in replacement they're getting Mustafi from Arsenal. You know, the shortest contract in history, 5.5 months contract or something. So, you know, I thought
no regrets every day of it.
Yeah, But even without Firmino and without Mane last Liverpool, Salah on fire. It's like that. Incredible.
Prediction. So we can
3-1. 3-1 to Arsenal, to Liverpool.
Canis.
I don't think Brighton will score, to be honest. The Brighton haven't been doing too bad. Yeah, Mane's going to be back, isn't he? He may rest Salah, but Firmino, I'm sure, will be back up top. I can't see anything. Liverpool have to win. They need to keep the pressure on City. Obviously, and they're great rivals, United. Liverpool wins for me. I've probably got 2 or 3-0, to be fair.
Yeah, so you're similar to Gerrard. If you'd bought 2 new centre backs, and okay, one of them's just at the motorway at Preston, so it's not far to travel, and you bought them on the Tuesday, would you risk either of them on the Wednesday or ease them in from the bench, Canis?
No, I don't pay them straight away. I can't pay them straight away. Yeah, no, I can't see them playing straight away.
No, they'll have to put them on the bench. The lad from Preston, at least, on the bench.
Yeah.
Surely they wouldn't.
You've got to show him what the speed is. Yeah, he needs to see the speed straight up. He needs to know what he's going to be up against. Different, absolute, totally different quality.
I agree.
Difference.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a while. Surely they'll take a little while to get up to speed. But it'll be interesting to see when the Liverpool team sheet is brought out tomorrow night. Will they dare put one of those 2 new lads in the starting 11? That's the question. Anyway, we've got to finish off in a mo, and I want to leave us a little bit time for a couple of Cowboys on Thursday night. The only game on Thursday night. North London, West London. Spurs against Chelsea, and do you remember my young lady is in the other room, and I always have this story about when Roman Abramovich came to London. Yeah, Abramovich said he went to Spurs first. He was thinking about what club to buy, and he went to Spurs and he had a look around Tottenham and he said, "It's the biggest shithole on the planet. It's even worse than Omsk in Siberia." My girlfriend Irina comes from Omsk. She was not happy. She was not happy about that. But anyway, Spurs against Chelsea. Abramovich, will he be there? Will he go to a shithole? Gerrard.
I don't know about a shithole, but last night a shit team. And Jose coming out saying we were sad. They were sad. That was his excuse about they were just feeling a bit down. Well, Gareth Bale on $500,000 a week and the money it's costing us to keep him there. Oh, he doesn't want to run. He doesn't look. As soon as he saw his number going off, he ran off the pitch to get off. So my little man Sonny looks lost about his big brother Harry, and but Thomas Tuchel's had a win, and that's going to be his only winner this week. I'm praying, and a good friend of mine has been suddenly messaging me quite a lot, Mr. Paul Kersey, and you better be watching this. So I'm going to go with a balanced draw, 1-1, and we'll just stay above them in the league. There you go.
What do you think? Jamie Redknapp was writing an article about Jose Mourinho, and he said if you look at a pattern of what's happened in management, he's always started quite well, but then he pisses off 1, 2, or 3, or 4 players, and it all then starts to spiral into a real bad atmosphere back at home. So he started off pretty well at Spurs. Now he's pissed off Ali. Bale clearly isn't his best mate. Aurelio wants to punch his lights out, so he's got 3 of them giving it the big one in the dressing room now. Isn't that? Didn't he do the same at United? Didn't he do the same at Chelsea twice? Didn't he do the same at Real Madrid when none of them wanted to play for him? You know, you got that got Ramos and all those unsavoury types who were, giving it the snipe back of house. Isn't it just, Groundhog Day, Gerrard? Isn't it Groundhog Day?
Well, it's worrying, as well as those 3 or 4 that you mentioned, what worried me more than anything last night was when they said that Eric Dyer is fit and available, and he wasn't even on the bench. That worried me more than Aurier or the others. And if you watch the documentary, the much better version of All or Nothing than the City one, you really get the impression that Dyer's Jose's boy, and something it just worried me more than anything last night. And he was down a little bit and looking a bit injured last week, but you know, you have him in the squad, and when I looked at Alderweireld, he looked a little bit overweight. You know, he looked slow, and Doherty's in and out of the team, but doesn't look like the same player as he was at Wolves. So there's something not right. Something not right.
The other challenge is that Mourinho is only loved for results by the fans. He's hated for his football, and you know, even when the honest Spurs fans came on here, they were going, and I was talking about, you're preferring prostitution over love, and all you're doing is you're so desperate for a title, you'll accept it by parking the bus. Now, the problem Jose has is that once the results stop, the love stops, because he has got nothing else, because the football he plays is unattractive. Do you not think the Spurs fans are going to start turning on him like the United fans did, and the Real Madrid fans, and the Chelsea fans to an extent did?
Well, possibly. And somebody today said to me that it was the second game of the trot they turned off at half time. And you'll know who I'm talking about, Ian. Yeah. And it was worrying. However, if we beat Chelsea, and it's a step closer to winning the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup and the Europa League, well, I'll take that this year. And we will still love him if we get that win against Chelsea.
Right. So what's your forecast score then? Come on, name on it.
Well, I'm actually going 1-1. As long as we stay above Chelsea, yeah. Can I we'll go up a place. That's all right.
Canas, what do you think?
Yeah, I got this as a draw. To be fair, I'll be happy with a draw also. I too early for Thomas Tuchel to kind of really stamp, you know, his style of play on Chelsea. I hope Jose baffles us again with his selection. I mean, I don't understand. You've got a right back, you know, in Doherty, you know, there, but you're playing. I don't know who was playing. Yeah, Sissoko and Sanchez. And it just, when I saw that, I was like, because you know, but hey, let's hope. We can only hope that you know, Jose starts panicking and pees off a few of his players. You can see it happening. And I think PSG had about 3 bids, didn't they? Turned down by Tottenham. So he really wants out. The only thing that stopped it was, I think, not agreeing the fee. So I think
Danny Boy didn't leave, neither did Dele Alli. So, guys, we need to wind it up. And I'm looking at, if I'm about to hit an end broadcast button, yeah? But before I scarper, I'm going to forecast the results. 0-3, and I'm going. Have a nice night. Bye. Cheers. I reckon that's it. See you, chaps. Bye.
Bye-bye.